2022 has been a great year for gaming, with many different titles coming out that range all over the place, from shooters to RPGs to more kinds of cozy games, and many developers and companies are being praised for their work in the 2022 Game Awards. But there's plenty of games that fans wanted to see get the nomination for Game of the Year, and today we're going down the list of games that were fantastic but that didn't quite make the cut. Welcome everyone to the Lumberzak Gaming channel, where you'll find all kinds of friendly, quality gaming content. Today we're going down the list of 10 games that fans were disappointed to not see in the nomination list for Game of the Year. These aren't in any specific order, but these games definitely deserve love and praise, and I don't want you to miss out on them. This year the nominations went to Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Plague Tale Requiem, Stray, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. This list is just some of the games that fans are disappointed to not see in the nominations. Let's go ahead and jump on into it. Bayonetta 3 is one of the first titles that a lot of fans are disappointed to not see in the nominations for Game of the Year. This game is the third installment of the Bayonetta series, and the reviews for this game were certainly high when the game released this past October. This game was praised for having one of the best combat systems in the series, and just overall for people who really enjoy these types of games. The story of this game is definitely a lot, as reality is in danger. A being known as the Singularity releases homunculi throughout the multiverse in an attempt to destroy each world within it. Bayonetta travels through fractured realms to recover Chaos Gears and meets other Bayonettas from multiple timelines. This game was also in the public eye for the original voice actor for Bayonetta, claiming that she was offered a ridiculously small amount of money for playing this role. Kinda got nasty, and she wanted fans to boycott the game, but in the end, many fans enjoyed the experience, and many definitely would have liked to have seen this game snag a Game of the Year nomination. SIGNALIS is another game that seemed to fly under the radar for a lot of gamers, but fans of this game sing its praises quite a bit, with an interesting playstyle, artwork, and story of this pixel art survival horror game. The reviews for this game are astounding, with many sources having an average of 10 out of 10 stars or 5 out of 5 stars. SIGNALIS is a classic survival horror experience set in a dystopian future where humanity has uncovered a dark secret. You play as a technician named Elster as you unravel a cosmic mystery, escaping terrifying creatures and scavenge an off-world government facility searching for your lost dreams. This game is roughly a 9-hour experience, and while it didn't really hit the mainstream eye, many fans of the game claim that this should have been a frontrunner for Game of the Year nominations. Neon White is a single-player speedrunning FPS where you can sacrifice guns for godlike parkour moves. This game is fast-paced and has very interesting art style that pops, is unique in nature, and keeps the flow of the game interesting and intense. This is an example of another game that didn't hit the mainstream eye that clearly deserves some attention, especially after the overwhelmingly positive status on Steam from about 8,000 reviews. This is one of the games that fans seem to be disappointed as to how stacked the cards were against it this year, with so many other great releases. Many people are also convinced that the nomination wasn't given because of Stray being nominated, as indie games seem more difficult to get more than one nomination in the year. However, the cards being stacked against its release shouldn't stop you from experiencing this fast-paced game with jaw-dropping art direction.
You think you can win me over by showering me with gifts? Good thinking.
Another stunning game this year that fans hope to see this year in the Game of Year nominations is TUNIC. Aside from TUNIC having a fantastic art style and a whimsical, adventurous feel to it, this exploration game has plenty of interesting puzzles and a fun combat system that makes it stand out from many other games that were released this year. In TUNIC, you explore a land filled with lost legends, ancient powers, and ferocious monsters. This isometric action game takes you through beautifully crafted levels as a small fox. This is another game that finds itself with outstanding reviews from every player who experiences it. With thousands of reviews and many of them being overwhelmingly positive, it's a shame that this game didn't get more eyes on it when it originally launched in March. But that doesn't stop fans from exploring these stunning, colorful levels. Up next on the list of games just missing out on the Game of the Year nomination is SIFU. SIFU is the story of a young kung fu student on the path of revenge, hunting for the murderers of his family. One against all, he has no allies and countless enemies. He has to rely on his unique mastery of kung fu, as well as a mysterious pendant to prevail and preserve his family's legacy. This beat-em-up indie game is set in China and has been raved about because of its art style, set pieces, flow, and music. Even just from watching the trailer, it's apparent at how smoothly the combat feels in this game, and the way the setting around you responds to your action makes this game even just visually pleasing to watch. It's clear there was a lot of time and energy and effort that went into making this game, and it's only fair that we bring some light to it. When I was looking at games that people were disappointed that didn't get a Game of the Year nomination, I was shocked to see this one because I'd never even heard of it. But when I looked at what people were saying about it, it's clear that Vampire Survivors is an unforgettable, addictive experience for many people. Hordes of monsters summoned by the evil Visconte Draculo ravage the land, and the Belpace family and other heroic survivors take it upon themselves to hunt down and defeat Draculo. This roguelike shoot-'em-up game seems to be a game that people cannot get enough of, and that is why it's made the list this year. And it's definitely worth your time as you blast through hordes of the undead and collect millions of experience and gold going into it. Kirby fans everywhere were disappointed to see that the first full 3D platformer for everyone's favorite pink puffball didn't make the Game of the Year nominations for 2022. This fun and immersive game was beloved by most fans who had waited quite some time to see one of their favorite Nintendo characters back in action. In Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Kirby finds himself in a new adventure through a forgotten land called the New World to rescue Waddle Dees, who has been kidnapped by the ferocious Beast Pack. The game plays as well as it looks. There's a ton of fun popping colors with a land that's more open than anything we've ever seen before in the land of Kirby. The game was also clearly a huge hit with fans because it became the best-selling game in the franchise by November. Who knows where we'll see our pink friend next, but for now, you can go check out this work of art. Built like a tabletop RPG, Citizen Sleeper definitely flew under the radar this year from the mainstream gaming community, but fans continue to sing its praises after its release in May. Live the life of an escaped worker washed up on a lawless station at the edge of an interstellar society. Inspired by the flexibility and freedom of TTRPGs, explore the station, choose your friends, escape your past, and change your future. I was hard-pressed to find any negative reviews of this game, and instead I found many people saying that once they started it, they couldn't put it down. Your character is barely scraping by in a cyberpunk dystopian frontier in space. These are the types of games that come out and really challenge the thinking and the mindset of many people. And it's for reasons like this that these games are so impactful for so many people. Maybe it's not surprising that a game like this didn't score the nomination this year, but that doesn't mean it's not worth checking out and devoting some time to enjoying and being challenged by. Many fans of the original 2009 Tale of Monkey Island were excited to get a long-awaited sequel this year, and for many people, it seems as though the game did not disappoint. It's been many years since Guybrush Threepwood was last locked in a battle of wits with his nemesis, the zombie pirate LeChuck. His true love, Elaine Marley, has turned her focus away from governing, and Guybrush himself is adrift and unfulfilled, having never found the secret of Monkey Island. Hip, young pirate leaders led by Captain Madison have shuffled the old guard from power. Mealy Island has taken a turn for the worse, and a famed businessman, Stan, has been imprisoned for marketing-related crimes. The game's art style and storytelling is a huge marketing tool for fans of Ron Gilbert, the creator of the series. Not only does the game offer pirates, laughs, and adventure, but it continues on a story that many have loved for a long time now, and it's definitely one that many fans would have loved to see clutch a nomination this year. It is amazing the amount of hours people have spent playing Power Wash Simulator, but it only leads to the point that this game seemed to be a fan favorite. This year, many gamers and streamers, including people like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, really helped push this game into the mainstream by just spending time cleaning everything around them and hanging out with friends. This game has something so pleasing about it that it makes you want to clean an entire virtual world, while also neglecting your actual cleaning at home. The amount of Steam reviews from people who have 40 to 50 plus hours on this game should only lead people to realize that this game definitely took the gaming community by storm this year and deserves some recognition. Sometimes the best story is no story, and we could always use a distraction from the work we're actually supposed to be doing. Game of the Year is a title given to a game every year, but at the end of the day, it's the games that impacted us the most that really matter. And we should always be ready to give our love and appreciation for the people and the teams that make these games possible. Let me know in the comments what your guys' thoughts are. Maybe there's a game that I didn't include on here that you think should have absolutely been nominated for Game of the Year this year. I'd love to hear from you. For more gaming content, check out the top split screen games of all time. I can assure you, you won't regret it.